Hi, my name is Chris. Today I'm going to be showing you how to install a City Living Flatline clothesline. It's a ground mount, so it's a nice compact clothesline that you can put pretty much anywhere in your backyard. The line space on these lines is 32 metres complete. And we have the benefit of 2 frames as well, so you can have your larger items on the top and for your smaller wares on the bottom line as well. And it folds down nice and flat, which makes it beneficial for the kids playing in the backyard also. Our first step with the ground mount fold down is to dig the holes. And the best way to determine as to where the holes need to go is to use your back bar by laying it on the ground. At the ends of the bar is where your holes need to go. So make the holes a full spade width round. Now, so far as the depth goes with the post holes, rule of thumb for these clotheslines is to have the clothesline frame set at the height for that at user height plus 4 to 5 inches. That way, when you're hanging the clothes out, you'll not be walking into the clothesline, and it'll be at just a small reach to peg everything to the line. Once you've got the posts in the ground, apply the front bar, fit that, and then fit the back bar with the bolts and tighten those up firmly. Next step is to level the posts. To do this, I find the best way is to add some soil to each of the holes and use a rammer, as I have on the end of my bar, to ram up the soil to keep the posts firm. And once they're level, it makes it easier to keep it upright while you will then add the concrete mix. I use pre-mixed concrete. I find it's less mucking around than having to buy the individual items to pre-mix yourself. So all we need to do is tear the bag open, apply some concrete mix to the hole, and add water as you're going. Just remembering to mix the water and the concrete mix as you fill the hole. Once you've done this, just recheck your levels, and if you're happy with that, allow the clothesline to set before we follow on with the wiring up of the clothesline. When it comes time to wiring up the clothesline, I find the best way is to actually lift the frame and engage the side braces. That way it's all overhead, starting with one corner. It can be the front corner or it can be the back corner, whichever you prefer. Feed the cord in through the top of the hole and tie off on the first hole. As you can see, there's an extra hole beside that the spare cord can go into to make it tidy. From there, all you're doing is feeding the cord into the top holes of each of the side arms, remembering to go through the top to the bottom, along the bottom, and back through to the top again to return back to the other side of the clothesline. Once you've got all the cord through the holes and you've got yourself to the other opposite corner of the clothesline, it's time to tie off. But before you tie off, you need to tension the cord. Starting from the front of where you first tied off, pull the slack away from the first knot through to the other side, then go to the next line and pull it back in the opposite direction, and make your way in this fashion towards the rear of the clothesline. Once you've got to the last cord, pull all the slack through the last hole, and then you're able to tie it off. Just before you do tie it off, just check that there are no loose cords that need to be tweaked again. So I find often it's a good idea to go through a second time just to fine tune it. Once you've got the cords tied off and you're happy with them, you can then snip off the excess through the second hole. Once you've completed this step, it is time to assemble the lower frame. I find the best way to do this, with the large frame in the up position, put one side arm on. You do not have to tighten up the bolts straight away. and secure the little drop arm from the top frame to the lower frame. From there, move to the other side of the clothesline and repeat the process. Once you've got the two side arms in, you'll find that you'll be able to slide that front bar into place. Once it's in place, you can then nip up the bolts. A good tip here is not to tighten the bolts up extremely tight. By doing that, you will restrict the movement of the lower frame. So always leave some slack, as you can see. From there, we repeat the wiring process with the cord, starting from the front. And making our way to the last line at the rear of the clothesline. The tensioning for this one is the same as per the larger frame. Once you're happy and you've got it tensioned up, then snip the cord off. It's a good idea not to snip any of the cord off until you're happy that you've actually got it wired up and it's right, because once it's snipped, you don't have any option for making any extra cord. To lower the clothesline, push the clothesline up, remembering to do any of these actions from the middle of the frame, and then lower the clothesline to the down position. To raise the clothesline, holding it from the middle of the frame and lifting it up, and you will hear an audible click. So here, now we've completed our installation of the City Living Flatline with the low line attachment, and it didn't take too long before the washing was hung out as well.